Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina.
I'm Jessie. You let me say it this time.
So I read Ellen/Elliot Page's book, and it was really, really hard to follow. It jumped around so much. It was hard to tell what age she was at any certain time. Like, it was full of stories of her life. But one story would be her at the age of, like, 10.
Okay.
And then the next story would be her at the age of 30. But I wouldn't know that at first. So
yeah.
It would be really confusing. It didn't really go in order. It just kind of bounced all over the place, and not for any particular reason.
It wasn't like following topics or anything like that?
No, not really, no. So what I learned is she has had an interesting relationship with her parents.
Interesting in what term?
Well, not necessarily bad. Her father and mother divorced, and her father had a wife that she didn't really get along with. They didn't get along. She talked about the movies that she was in and then meeting different people in the industry, a lot of them who were adult men.
I'm assuming that they had a lot of influence on her? Is that what you learned from those?
A lot of influence. There were experiences that she had where she kind of went along with people in intimate situations.
Okay.
When she didn't want to.
Specifically men?
I think there was one woman in there.
Okay.
But majority were men. Yeah.
Now, at any point when she's talking about all these powerful men who were influencing her, does she say that she wanted to be a powerful man, or that, you know, something about them having that power was something she admired?
No, nothing like that.
Because something like that is what I think a lot of women transition to achieve.
No, nothing like that. She didn't even mention really anything about being trans when she was talking about her days when she was younger.
Okay.
She did talk about being uncomfortable in her body, which, you know, we all went through
Everyone's
when we were
gone
young.
through that, men, women.
Yeah, having an issue with her boobs, but it was sparsely sprinkled in there. It wasn't prominent in the book, anything about her being trans. The trans thing didn't show up until later.
Okay.
When she started talking about her experiences when she was in her 30s.
Huh.
She mentioned thinking about being trans when she was like 29 and turning to a trans woman who's a friend of hers and asking her, "Do you think I'm trans?"
Which we talked about. I don't think that's... number one, if you're asking that question, you're probably not. Like, if you're asking someone else that question...
Yeah.
If you're asking yourself that question, then you're just reflecting.
Right.
Right. But if you're asking someone else, then you're asking someone else to make a decision for what you want out of your life and how you should be living it. You're basically saying, like, should I be Hindu? Should I be Jewish? Should I be Christian? What should I practice as my religion?
And then she did the same thing, turning to I'm pretty sure it was another trans woman, or it was a queer person, someone who was in the community, asked them, "Do you think I'm trans?" Well, why are you asking people who are in the community if you're trans? You know, I always found that kind of strange.
Why are you asking anyone besides yourself?
Because they're experienced with it, I'm assuming.
It's not like you're a little kid and it's like, "Mommy, am I gay because I have boy best friends?" Like, you know, a little boy being like, "Mommy, I love my guy friends."
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm gay? Like, you're not that. You're a full-fledged adult who has the internal monologue to assess these type of things. I don't ask other people what to wear every day because I'm an independent person.
Or do you think I'm gay?
Right.
So.
Unless you were like I said, the only exception to that is like little kids who don't know what gay means.
She did mention wanting to pee standing up when she was younger, and then talking about pinching and just
pinching.
Yeah, like pinching it to make her pee standing up. I don't know how that works, but that's how it was described in the book. It was very interesting.
You could just like take a shower, stand up in the shower, pee, and then wash your stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know it's not what you're looking for, but like, would you rather be like clipping your vagina to try and
with like safety pins?
With safety pins.
So before we continue on with this video, we're gonna have to remove a few things because it will get demonetized from YouTube. So if you want to see this video in full, then please join our memberships for early access to our videos, as well as uncensored videos, including this one. Thanks. Was that good? I also found it. I also found it interesting that she idolized these trans women that were also performers. And I've heard of trans women having like den mothers of a sort. Someone to guide them through their transition who's already been through it. But what do trans men do? Who did they go to? Because she didn't mention any trans men in the book
Well, it sounds
whatsoever.
like she as a trans man went to trans women.
Right, but that's like a lesbian going to gay men to...
Get dating advice or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I found it very strange that there was no trans male guidance, that she went for trans women who are totally different types of people.
Well, I mean, maybe I'll be the one to say it. Maybe it just shows how misogynistic they really are. Men are better, even when they're pretending to be women.
Yeah, no.
But no, that's their mentality.
I know. But anyway, it made me kind of realize, like, overall, her personality was very just
Trend jumper.
going with
The flow of the like whatever's trendy, right?
It seemed like it because she came out as gay first, but then she came out as trans next. And I'm just trying to figure out. I read the book and I just could not figure out who she was without the influence of other people.
I don't think she knows who she is without the influence. That's the problem, not only with people who are actors, but people who are also in this community. They don't know who they are, and so they depend on other people to tell them. The only reason that you're uncomfortable being in you, like the way you look, is because of other people's judgment. And so you're gonna take other people's judgment because you value that more than your own freedom, your own thinking, your own opinion, your own everything. And yes, you might have been uncomfortable with your body, but I don't think you have gender dysphoria.
It didn't seem like she had any sort of gender dysphoria.
Right.
Nothing that sounded anywhere similar to what I've heard actual transsexuals talk about. This was very, very not that.
Yeah.
Also, another thing about the book that I didn't really need to know was...
Minus the safety pinning.
Yes. The sex stuff. Whenever she would talk about having sex with a partner, she was very descriptive. When it came to...
In what sense?
Whenever she was having lesbian sex with a partner, she was very descriptive, like sticking needles and sticking... Like, I didn't need to know this. We could have left this on the chopping block.
It's a very graphic in a sense.
Yeah.
Got on that.
It wasn't extreme, but it was unnecessary.
Was there
coulda
any
moved.
point in bringing up those? Like, what was the point of her bringing them up in the book?
There was really no point. We didn't really need to go through that in the book, but she did.
I remember you saying that she said she had sex more like a man. Did that have any pertinence to it?
I think she was trying to relate that to her feeling like a trans man, but that's really no different from any other lesbian.
I say it all the time. Lesbian sex is fantasy. It's a lot of just playing and like fulfilling each other's fantasies in that sense. Yeah. Which is why it confuses me when people use that. Because I've both on and like I've been on both ends of that. But it doesn't make me feel like I should be trans. It doesn't make me feel like I'm non-binary. It doesn't make me feel like there's an actual word for it, and it's called a switch. It means you switch between a dominant submissive positioning. It doesn't mean that I'm gender non-binary, blah, 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 two-spirit, or that I have sex like a man. I can't have sex like a man. I don't have
Well, you don't use your testicles to have sex a lot of the time.
I don't have pee.
That too. But
You still need it to have sex like a man.
True. What was your point?
I don't remember anymore.
I didn't really feel while I was listening to it that it was very deep.
I thought you said you didn't feel well while listening to it. And I was like, I wouldn't have either.
I mean, she didn't go through a lot of interesting experiences or difficult struggles. It was kind of ordinary in a celebrity sense. I mean, even when she was talking about the experiences where she didn't want to be with these people, she wasn't very descriptive about
what she did like, what was going on.
how she was feeling and stuff. Like, I felt like maybe she's not very good at describing how she feels. I don't know.
I don't think that she's good at relating to how she feels. I don't think she's good at putting that feeling, like, what am I feeling? Because every time I've heard her talk, It's always been, oh, this person made me do this, and so I did it. They told me to wear a dress, so I did it. I never expressed how I was feeling. I just shut up and did it. Because I'm a woman, which means naturally I usually shut up and do things.
Right. Like, a lot of her transitioning stuff, it all related to clothes. Anytime she had some sort of gender dysphoria, it all related to clothes. And I'm sorry, but I can't get behind that as something that would be considered gender dysphoric, because I've had the same feelings when it came to being forced to put on dresses and heels and nails and all that crap.
As a woman, though, you have way more freedom to wear literally whatever you want versus a man. A man in a dress does look kind of funny if you just happen to see it, but a woman in jeans and a flannel doesn't really throw you.
Well, according to her, a lot of people wanted her to dress up like a girl, which I can understand.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely understand. I mean, we've both been there.
Clothes don't equal trans.
Right, and you're also, you have free will to put on those clothes or not put on those clothes.
Yeah.
And like I was just saying, if you see a man in a dress, you're going to maybe look twice. But if you see a chick in a pair of jeans, boots, and a flannel,
you don't really think
You don't really think twice. You think, oh, maybe she lives in a country area. But like, why is that so obsessed over in the community there? Did you get that point in the book at all?
What?
Why she obsessed over the clothing so much?
I think she believes that that's a part of being trans, is being uncomfortable in gender-conforming clothes, which I don't believe at all. But that's how people around her and how she sees trans, it seems.
Like it's a costume.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Then she talked about her top surgery, which sounded very uncomfortable. But she didn't really get too much into the surgery or after the surgery. I was expecting something like, now I finally feel free. I finally feel like myself. I feel masculine. I feel more like a man. It just...
That's the gender euphoria you were expecting, right?
I was expecting something more, but it was kind of flaccid. Her explanation to how she felt after she had top surgery, I was expecting more.
And she was just like, tits are gone, next.
Yeah, I mean, she made little things here and there, saying like, I feel good now, but I just was expecting so much more. Like, I would have expected it to have had more of an impact on her.
Like a bigger relief, more curing to the gender dysphoria they claim to have.
Yeah.
But it's not a significant gender dysphoria case if chopping off your boobs didn't make you feel much different.
So overall, it was a very confusing book to follow. It was missing a lot. There were a lot of parts in there that were not necessary, and it was kind of weak. I was expecting more interesting stories, more description, more hearing about who she is, but I got none of that.
Really is an actor, not a writer, you know?
Well, she said she's written stuff, and she said that she liked to write in her book, like screenplays and musicals.
Just because you like to write doesn't mean you're a good writer.
That's true. So I hope you enjoyed this. Did you read Elliot Page's book? And what did you think?
I didn't.
But at least now you don't have to read it if you haven't. Like and subscribe, join our memberships, and have a good one.
Comment below.